Okay, hello, welcome to part 3 of the amazing asset browse that we're doing, and I'm pretty excited because if you look at what we have here right now, this is gonna be the next step, or what I have done so far. We changed some things, or I changed some things about how this is constructed, so we're gonna be changing a few things today. Change the approach because, as I mentioned, this is not done, and I was trying to use the queue list widget to hold this, but I didn't like some issues that I was having, and so I went back to my old trusted flow layout that I like. So you can see we have the right now here. If I reload this, see it's loading all the HDR images from the side. They have a name already. You can see here at the bottom here, if I click on one, already does something. So it's just printing the name, but that is great because now that we have this, we can just start doing stuff in Houdini. I wanted to get something done in Houdini today, but that's gonna be for next, for the next video, depending on how long this takes today. I don't want to make this super long because I don't know if you guys like the super long video. Let me know in the comments there if you like the super long video or not. All right, so let's stop talking and start coding. Okay, right, so this is where we left off last week, or last video if you're just binge watching these videos. So let me change this back to my actual file. You don't need to do this, I'm just changing this because I'm developing this, but in a separate file every time, so I'm at the same place when I do the video, as the same place as you are. So this is what we had before. And some of the issues here is that this thing, you can see it's only loading 2 columns here for some reason. I don't know. I tried to fix it. I didn't know how to fix this thing. It just did a bunch of things. I'm not exactly sure why this thing is loading into columns here. I don't know. I really don't know. So yeah, I'm gonna abandon that idea today. I'm gonna do a few things. So the first thing we're gonna do is actually use the thing that I love the most. This is the my old asset browser, or Mixplorer, that I had before. I'm actually getting a lot of ideas from my old Mixplorer because that thing was working pretty cool. So I'm just grabbing ideas from that, and I'm implementing it into this new asset browser that we're making. So it's gonna be maybe Mixplorer version 2. Maybe rename it to that later. All right, so Qt Designer. Qt Designer is a really nice tool to just create interfaces for Qt. In this case, PySide as well, because PySide is based on Qt, or is the Python version of Qt. So how do you get it? Well, there is different ways for different systems. Let me bring here. If you are, let me make the font larger as well, right? Because you guys might not see this enough. There we go. 32 is good. I'm gonna make maybe the editor as well bigger. I don't know if you will need to see the editor, but you might need to see the line numbers there. So I'm gonna put a comment here. So if you are on Linux like I am, you need to install PyQt Tools 5 DevTools, and that will give you the Designer. So now when let's see, in my Qt 5 Designer, you can see it, but this is my second screen, but you can, once you install that on Linux, you have Qt 5 Designer, which is this guy, and you can just launch it from there. On Windows and maybe in Mac, this video that I found, it's pretty good for installing it. It tells you how to install it. It's recent. There was another version that I found before, but it's not recent anymore. So it's this video. It shows you how to install PyQt 5, which is, PyQt 5 is basically the same thing as Pisa with a different license. But these things shows you how to install it, what you need to install to get Qt Designer running. You can see there it is on Windows. So if you're on Windows, try this. This should probably work the same way on Mac. So give it a go on Mac as well, and it should work. If not, please send me a message on Discord, and the Discord link should be at the bottom of the description of this video, and then we can figure it out. Okay, I promise. All right, so let's start with that. So what I did here, it's a little window. It's just very, very, very simple. It's all we're gonna do today, but this is what we need. So I'm gonna create a new one just so you know what I did. It's gonna be from this side, the left side, just select widget, select create. So this is the little box here. Ignore the, you know what? Well, not ignore it because I'm gonna copy this basically. So this is the window that we have. You can even press Ctrl R to test it, and this is the actual window, the preview of it. So this is the designer. I'm not gonna teach you this design window. It's pretty simple to get. You just get widgets from here, put them wherever you like. You put some parameters here, and then you can run it and see this is the actual window running. Ctrl R runs this again. Or you can go here to what is it? Preview here. You can even preview it in different styles, seems like. That's weird. Windows style. Look at that, Windows, all Windows. That's weird. But yeah, it's pretty simple, and if you want to move them around, you can design your window here. You don't do logic here. This is not like oh man, I forgot the name of the application. What is that? Qt what? Totally forgot. There's a code editor from Qt. Qt code editor. It's called, oh man, I forgot the name. I used to use it a lot. Qt Creator, sorry. Qt Creator is the editor. This is also embedded into Qt Creator, but I don't like to use Qt Creator just to use this. But in Qt Creator, you can actually add the functionality and everything, but it's mostly for C++ stuff. So what we're gonna do here is add a layout. A few things that we already did in the code, but again, I'm not gonna explain this a lot. If you're gonna want to learn this more, you can just find some videos online. Should be there. There's plenty of videos. So I'm gonna put a vertical layout here. See, I just drag this guy and put it over here. This is pretty small. I want to cover the whole thing, so I just right click here on the empty area, layout on a grid, select, and then you can see it covers the whole thing. I want to also add a button. So the button, now you can see it's inside that, and that is on top. Just gonna double click here and say hello from assets land, I guess. That's just for now. I'm not sure even if we want to have that button there. I just want to have it there for something. And then the other thing we're gonna use here is a scroll area, which is down here in containers. You can also search here if you put your cursor here in this filter. Scroll area, and then I'm gonna drop the scroll area there, and you can see the scroll area covers the whole thing. So I'm basically just already remade this window that we had at the bottom right. So if we press Ctrl R, it's just like that. It's pretty simple stuff. So we're gonna do a few modifications to this. I'm gonna call this button, let's call it the main underscore btn for button. And wait, what? And then here, this area, I'm gonna just double click it and call it content underscore area, like that. These names we're actually gonna use inside of the code, so be careful with exactly how this thing is named. So now we're gonna save this. It's gonna produce a .ui file. So let's save this, and you can see here in the where we have the asset browser in Houdini, I created a folder called assets, and inside that assets we're gonna have this mix asset browser.ui file. I'm not gonna save it because I have that already, but as you can see, it's exactly the same thing here. Just recreated this guy, right? I call this content uppercase area, but it's fine. It's not. It's fine. It's fine. So we're gonna use this as the actual interface that we're gonna put here in Houdini. So let's do that now. Now here in the code, you can see we have the folder assets and that file. If you actually open that file, I can't open it here, but if I open it in any text editor, you can see this is just an XML file, which is great. This is an XML file. Some people compile this to Python and stuff. I like to work with this directly because I modify this on the fly. As you can see, this is pretty damn simple right now, right? But I modify these files, and while I'm working, and I just develop it at the same time, and I don't have to recompile anything. I'm just using the UI file directly. That's how I work. That's how I like that. All right, so where's my editor? Here. So now here in the code, we're gonna start doing that stuff, okay? So remember, this is over here. We need one line of code for that, which I'm gonna just copy because I don't want to waste time typing. Want to put the time to teaching you. From Python to Qt UI tools, we import the QUI loader, which is the loader that is gonna load these UI files, and that's what I need for it. We're gonna get some here on top of the before the class. We're gonna get the script path, which is gonna be a way for us to get this to this file without really caring where this is. So we're just gonna get the path for this file, the file that we're running, and from there we're gonna get the relative path to this. So that I like to do this a lot, especially in Houdini, because Houdini runs the Python file inside Houdini with the Python interpreter. So you can't really just say open the file relative to this thing. Doesn't work that way. So I just create this little trick that I learned. Also need to import OS here. Let's go import the OS library. Not too much. Damn, my spacebar is failing. I don't like that. OS.path. This is an old way to get it. Maybe there's a new way with the path library in Python 3, but this works. You're gonna get the path to their name of this special magic word. This is basically the script that we're running, and then we're getting the directory path to that. And we can even print this if you want to see it in action. Word path, and let's just see it here. Print. There we go. Oh, actually, I found out that we can actually now make this bigger. Look at that. I didn't know. Now in Houdini 19, you can make this text bigger, so it can show you exactly what's happening here. So here's the path. So that's exactly the path, and that's gonna be it's gonna be different for each one of you. If you have your script anywhere in your system, this is gonna give you a path to that, this is great, right? Because we can use this. We don't really need a viewport now, so we can do this, and we don't even need also a wait, no, not that. We don't even need the network view, so we're just gonna be working on this panel and this, so we can make this bigger, which is fine. Great. Or you can even, oh no, that's not what I wanted to do. I can't even again, I can even do this and have these guys here and my other window over here. Let's close that, and we can have maybe, yeah, cool. Need a little bit more space for this. Now I think this is maybe too large, but yeah, so that's probably gonna be enough for you guys to see it. So now we have the path to that. Now we can load that path. I don't want to see that. Let me delete that line. I don't need it. Let's start doing the loading of this. Let's go to here. Let's do it after this manager. Let's say load UI file and scroll load. So this is going to be self.loader. Loader is going to be equal to a QUI loader. You can see that's the one that we want. And then the self.UI, this is going to be the UI that we're going to load. It's going to be self.loader dot load. Then here we need a path to the actual file. So path to the file is going to be, again, we had that work path, so it's going to be related to that work path, and we're going to add to this path, we're going to add, we called it assets, and inside assets is the mix asset browser.ui. So we have that file there. This thing is complaining about something here, maybe the space. Seems like that was the issue. Parameter self UI loader. Seems like that is fine. Let's see. Let's just run it here in Houdini. Okay, no issues. Then it's fine. All right. So now we're gonna get that content area from this file. So this file contains all that UI file that we made. So now we can just say self.content area. It's gonna be equal to self.ui.content area. So we can actually just I named mine content area. Sorry. If we go back here, this is the one we did together. Sorry, I'm not using that one, but mine here you can see is content uppercase area there. So that's the one that I'm using. And again, you can see this file in I think I closed that. Maybe let me open it again over here. You can open this file on a text editor and actually see those names here. Name, content area is there. You can see that's what I'm referring to, and this is gonna give me the widget that we are looking for actually. So it's pretty cool. It's just referencing that as a real just object there. All right, so here in the layout, it's gonna change a little bit because, as I mentioned, this icon view is not what we're gonna use. We're not gonna use this. So before we do that, I'm gonna use a class that I have here open. This comes with class that comes with an example in for PySide. So this is not something that I did, so I'm not gonna explain this window. I'm just gonna explain what it does. But you can see PySide 2 flow layout. There's an example of this here. I think this is one. So this is the flow layout example, which just puts objects, widgets in a flow layout, as you saw in the beginning. So this is the actual class, and I think this is the one that I have. I got it for somewhere else. So this class here, you could just copy this class directly. Is this the new one? This is the new one. You could just get this class here like this, copy, just getting all the flow layout class this, and you can see I'm actually gonna do another one. Let's just do a Python file and call this flow layout 2, because I think this has a little issue. Let me see if this one works better. I could copy this from somewhere else, so let's use this, but you can see there's some issues here. So let's just do this, copy this or we can just copy what, I mean, this is using PySide 6, which is the newest version. Houdini uses PySide 2 now, but this was renamed to 6 just because, I don't know. But let's, for now, we just need to put this line at the top to import what we need here. Let's just go. I mean, I do know what happened, but I don't want to get into the widgets. Okay, this is doing it a little bit different. Let's see, Q layout, import. Let's import Q layout. Let's import Q margins. And what else? Qt. Let's import Qt. That one. I'm just putting the mouse over this and saying, selecting this in. And this is great about PyCharm, but if you're not using PyCharm, just copy what I'm gonna put here at the top when I'm done with this. I'm also gonna send upload this code to my Patreon, which I haven't done. Sorry for that. I will do it this week, but it's gonna be all available on GitHub. I just have to figure out how I'm gonna use this on GitHub. And hook it up with Discord. I mean, not Discord, Patreon. So this is what I have there. So actually, I don't need that first line that I did. So that's what you need to import right there. And again, this class, I just copied it from here. So hopefully it works. So now here on the back into our asset browser, we're going to import that class here. Let me scroll to the left. Yeah, there we go. So here, I guess here, I'm going to import my own class, which is from dot flow layout. You can see I have two. I'm going to use the one that I just did with you guys. Flow layout. That's what I want. Import that file here. And then we're gonna create that flow layout. So we need to create a few things here. It's gonna be here on the main layout that we have. We're gonna change this a little bit. So we're gonna change. Let me make this a little bit bigger so we can see a little bit more of the text. We're gonna we have the main layout that's gonna be the same. We have this thing as well, but here we're gonna to this main layout, we're gonna add that UI that we just created. So let's do add widget self.ui. So that's gonna add the UI to the. We can actually refresh this, and you can see the UI is already here. It's this push button. You can see if I go back to this, you can see it's called push button. If I call this hello from Qt. And I save this, I have to save it. If you modify, you can see there's a little asterisk here. Just save it. And then we can reload here in Houdini. And you can see that's super fast to just edit. I love this, how you can just edit here this UI and then just reload it in Houdini like pretty quickly. So we have that UI already there. So that is one step there. Done. Cool. So here for the so set up for flow layout. We have a little setup here for the flow layout. We're gonna create a widget. It's gonna be self widget. We're gonna create like an empty widget, and then Qt widgets dot Q widget. This is how I've done it in the past. If somebody else sees that this is a little bit wrong and you have a better way to do it, please let me know. But this works pretty good. I mean, I've done it many times. And then the content area that we grabbed before here, we're gonna set that widget to this widget that just created, self that widget. So basically this widget is gonna contain the flow layout. So we're just creating an empty one where we're gonna be parenting the flow layout too, and that is gonna be added to the content area, which is already here, right? So now you can see the, if we go back to Qt here, the scroll area has a widget inside, and we're going to set that widget to the flow layout. So the flow layout is going to be here, so it's going to be inside of here. The content area is a scroll area, which we're going to be able to scroll it like this. So we're basically recreating kind of a, in a way, what the Q list widget is, but we're creating basically our own widget, with a specific layout. So that's what we're doing here. We basically, we are creating our own custom widget. So now we have this layout there. We're gonna create the icon view here is gonna be now. Let's just comment that out. So now the icon view that we had before. This could be named better, maybe. Let's call this assets view. Assets view. It's not a good name. Assets view is gonna be equal to that flow layout, and then we're gonna set the parent to that widget that we created. So these lines are gonna add it to the layout actually. So if we refresh, okay, icon view is not defined because we delete that, which is fine. We're gonna go down to now this area. So you can see this area is now failing. I don't want to do anything with this icon view right now, or actually let's just maybe even delete it, because that's not gonna be doing anything. Let's delete all that stuff. I don't need to add this icon, this area here, and not this button either. We don't need to do that anymore. This main layout is fine. Reformat the file. Why are you want to reformat too many blank lines? Oh, there we go. So here we're gonna do a few things differently. We're not gonna be using the image label here, which I already thought that was kind of hacky to do, so we're not gonna be doing that. Let's delete that line, delete this line. Let me just comment all this code for now. We're gonna use some of this, but we are gonna be doing something different. So here I'm gonna create a button, and this button is gonna be a different button than the regular buttons. It's gonna be a tool button. See, there's a push button, but there's also a tool button, which is the one that I like to for things like this. We're gonna add that, and I'm gonna just put here at the bottom of this loop. Well, let's do it. Yeah, at the bottom of this loop, which is gonna be. I don't think we're gonna use any of this area there. So let's make this, I guess, the bottom. This is gonna be in the assets view. We're gonna add this widget. This is the button. So it's the same thing as before. We're gonna run through this loop and we're gonna add stuff here. Let's run this and see what's happening. You can see, there we go. We have now a bunch of buttons that are empty, but you can see these are actual buttons and we can click them. Now I'm clicking them, but they're doing nothing. So we already have this layout, and you can see they are all in this flow layout. And if we expand this, you can see it fills the window with that, which is great. See, if we scroll it, it just keeps the assets as they are there. Pretty cool. I love this flow layout. So it's amazing how we can do this flow layout and just make it and it's gonna be looking better when we have the icons here. But yeah, you can see it's just great. Awesome stuff. All right, so this is already working great, but so we need some things for this to make it better, right? Because it's just little icons there. So what we're gonna do is remember that before we were using the image label and passing it to the to what we had here. Let's close the flow layout files. We don't need those. If you want to go and understand what the flow layout is doing, great, go ahead. I don't really know exactly what this is doing. It's just arranging the widgets in a way that, I don't know, really, if you haven't studied this much, but if you want to get better at this, and you should look at this and see what is happening and how it's doing the magic that it does, which is great, actually. Great way to learn how to make your custom widgets. All right, so now again, going back to the label, we were sending the label to the loader here, to the image downloader, and then we were setting the pixmap here. So now instead of that, we're gonna send the button that we had, the tool button that we're doing for here. You know what? Let me delete this. Should I delete this? No, let's keep them because we might need them for research later. So here, instead of sending the label, which we're not going to use the label, we are going to use the URL. Sorry, that is, we're going to use the URL and we're going to request the URL, and then we're going to send this to the, here, we're going to send the button instead of that. So let's just send the button here. And again, this is creating a button each, every loop, and we are getting the button added here. So that's what's happening there. If you, just in case you didn't, we're getting that. Let me just keep that image there we're using for testing, because we can actually use it here. You know what? Let's use it now. Let's use it now here. Let's set up here. Let's set, what did I do? I don't know why that send me to the top, because I just wanted to wait. What happened there? So I just want to set the icon on the button here. Let me just see, button set icon from. We should be able to just use this. Should be able to use that. So that's the test image, the Houdini logo that we've been using. So let's test that. And there we go. You can see now we have nice Houdini logos there. They're pretty small, but they're there. So what's happening here on this side, it's saying, here, line 41, which you go to 41 here, it's saying that this button doesn't have a set pixmap function, which is right. He's right. The tool button doesn't have that, so we're gonna have to change this part of the image downloader class here. So let's do this. We're not gonna do that. We're gonna add a few things here. So let's create an icon here, because we need an icon, just like we did assign the icon below. We're gonna set create just an empty icon here, and then that icon is gonna we're gonna add the pixmap that we have here. So we have this self pixmap. We're gonna use it here. Pixmap. We have it. I'm gonna use it, which is just a little modification to what we had. And then we just set the icon, say self parent that set icon to that icon that we just created here. Just adding the pixmap to the icon and then putting it there. So now if let me remove this, because we're already setting the icon there. I should now have the images from the website there. There we go. Look at that. And I think I'm actually loading the whole HDR still. So let's not do that, because we're loading the whole 4,000 something. You can see this is cool. But those are already the images from the website. We click again, you can see this is only the skies, but there we go. Those are working. Cool, but they are pretty small, right? So let's make them bigger. So that is gonna be all properties of this button, right? So this button has a style. You can see button to have the actual label on the bottom. So we can set the tool button style. You can see that is the function, and the function is qt dot tool button. I don't have qt, so again import this name here from the Sparkside Qt core .qt, and this is just adds this import here You can't import it like this. This is not the way. I was trying to do that, but you have to import it here like this specifically. So here we now have this toolbar, QT, tool button. You can see there's different styles here. The one I like is text under icon. There's the button style, follow style. I don't know. I guess these are not styles, but this is the text only, icon only, text beside icon, Mac window toolbar, button hint. I don't know if that is in style. I don't think so. So this one is pretty cool because if you see now here, there's nothing there, but we can set a button dot set text. You can see there's a text to set, and then let's call this hey. And then if we do that, now we have some text there. But wait, seems like this is not text under icon. That is weird. I think it's pretty small and that the text is not fitting, maybe. So let's do the scale of this now. So we need to set a few things. Button set the fixed size, and the fixed size is gonna be a Qt core dot q size of the thumb size, right? We have the thumb size that we have there calculated before. Well, not calculated, we just have a hard-coded value there. And then if we do that, now we have, you can see large buttons with a label there, but now the icon is pretty small because this is an icon, right? It's not meant to be like it's meant to be like something, just having like a little icon. You can maybe something like should be the like those little buttons on top of an application like this, for example. But we're basically using it for something else. But text beside icon, let's try that one. You can see this is like this is like a tool in a toolbar or something, like these buttons are here with some text. But we're not using it like that. We're using it to make pretty images, so we can just do whatever we want. We don't care about what PySite wants to do. We want to do our own thing. Now let's set the same way the icon size here. You can see the icon size. We can also set that Qt core dot q size of the thumb size. We could create a size and just pass it here for each one of these if we want it like that. So let's say thumb size or something that is not descriptive at all. Thumb Q size, something like that. I'm not gonna do this. But we could hold this into a variable and just pass it here, but it's fine. So that should give us now, you can see, look at that. That looks pretty. Oh my god, yeah. Wow. I guess we're gonna make it to the with what I had planned for today, which is great. All right, great stuff. This looks amazing. Wow. So now we can actually, you can see we can click this, guys. It's kind of you can see the label kind of like showing that we're clicking it. But we are not. They are buttons, but we can't do anything. We can also set the spacing on the flow layout. Actually, let's see. The flow layout has a spacing parameter. Margin 0. No. Where did I set the spacing before? You can see I have also a lot of spacing on this widget, and I don't like that. But for now, I'm just gonna stay with it, or maybe not. But if I don't like that spacing, I can go here to the form layout and remove this little margins here, or reduce them, because I kind of don't like this spacing, this part here. I don't like it. So if I reload that, you can see now it's all the way to the sides. I just left 2 pixels there just to have a little bit of of but this is, you can see this is amazing. I love this layout. It's just amazing. And I've never been able to solve this. Like if you don't have like enough room for this, it just leaves a little space. I like what Unreal does. So Unreal kind of scales these guys until there's not enough space to the next one. But I haven't solved that yet. So if anyone knows how to do that, let me know, and we can implement this on this guy. So you can see how easy it is to just modify stuff here in the UI and to see it live here like pretty quickly. So now this spacing here, I think I solved that somehow in my other flow layout, but we're gonna leave it like that for now. It's not bad. So one other thing we can say, I mean, these titles are boring, right? So we have already some title that we can pass here, which is the actual key. So we'll just pass the key that we're getting here and save that and reload it, and look at that. Now they have the actual name. The actual name is there. Man, this is this is advancing so quickly. We are at episode 3. We're gonna be done so fast. No, there's a lot of stuff to do yet. All right, let's go quick and finish this episode before we get too on the weeds. All right, so let's now here when we add the button to the asset view, we can actually connect a function to this. So let's say connect function to button. So we can basically say what the button's gonna be doing, and we can plug all the buttons to one single function, which is what I like. Button clicked dot connect. This is how you connect a button to a function. It's gonna be self asset collect. I'm gonna call this asset clicked, and this doesn't exist yet. This is saying that it doesn't exist. So let's go all the way down here and create that function, def asset collect. It's gonna take self, nothing else. And if this passes, or just print ouch, because you're gonna click the button, it's gonna hurt. Wait, why is this still saying that doesn't? I don't know. Let's click here. This thing is still saying that it doesn't something. Cannot find reference to connecting function. What? Good for you, guy. But you can see if I click this, guys, you can see they are saying ouch, 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 ouch. So it's working. So now, just to finish this, how can we distinguish each one of these guys instead of just having everyone do the same thing? How do we can make this single function do something different for each one of these guys? Well, we can up here set a name for the object, which is what I do. You can do it in other ways, but I like to use the object name. Button dot set object names. You can set an object name for this. This is gonna be like the object name we set over here. This object name here, you can see object name. So we're gonna set that to the button. Like for example, this button has main button. We're gonna add a name for that we can reference that later, which is actually great. So the object name here is gonna be the same key. So we're gonna pass this thing that we see here. We're gonna pass it as the object name. And now here, instead of just printing ouch, we can actually get that name really quickly. Which self.sender. Actually, self.sender just gives us the actual widget that is calling this function. If we do that and print it, it's gonna be a weird number, object number, but you can see this is the actual tool button, which is actually has a name there. You can see that the name that we have there, and this is the address, memory address that is at. So you can see this already works. but we don't want to just do that. We can get the object name like that, and you can see print. Click that and print. You can see approaching storm, Blue Lagoon, Cannon. So there we go. Now, man, this is working so cool. Right on. Look at this. Works great. Expands, scrolls, and man, this is amazing. And if we want larger, we can make buttons for larger thumbnail sizes. But if we want larger thumbnails, we just change one value, reload. Now we have huge images here, and look at this. This is amazing. I love it. We could also right now the buttons are squared, but you can see the bottom is maybe a little bit too large for this text, but we can style it later. For now, this is just great. Let me just keep it at 300, I guess. But yeah, you can already see that we're making a lot of progress with this. This is so nice. Already, like, you can start doing things with this. All right. I think this is where I'm gonna end. Just for completeness here, I'm gonna save this into a name variable and print that variable, because that variable is gonna be useful later instead of just having that. So event inform 5 4. And you can also see that these guys are actually ordered alphabetically, which is great. And then we're gonna implement some search later to find something like rooftop, and then we're gonna filter those. Maybe we can filter them by tags as well and stuff like that. But man, this is looking so nice. Right, let me see if I forgot anything here from my code that I did, but no, seems like everything's cool. So I'm glad that I used this other flow layout, because the other one that I was using was buggy. So you can see if I change to the other one, had a little bug that I noticed, and I was kind of worried a little bit. So this is the other layout, and this, yeah, you can see when I return or shrink after expanding, it doesn't readjust the width of this. So I was worried about that. So glad I just found the other one. I'm gonna be using that one. I'll replace it on the code there. But yeah, you see, this works great. Amazing. This is how I remember it working. All right. Well, there is stuff that we could put here into another class, like just getting this asset entry or this button into its own class to just call it in one go. But for now, this is gonna be everything for now. Again, next time what I want to do is start getting these guys into the actual Houdini scenes, interacting with Houdini. Now I want to get it downloaded from the website and apply it to a light, like have a dome light, maybe a redshift dome light or something like that, or an environment light. And when you click on this, let me bring gonna have to make another panel for this, because this is having it here doesn't allow me to see that. Gonna have to do something like this, I guess. Can I drag this over here? Doesn't want to. Let's just open it here. If we have a light, where's my light? Did I delete the light? If we have a light there, this light has an entry for the texture here. So if we select the light and click it, or maybe one day dragging it, would download that from the internet, apply it to this, and show it on the scene, which would be maybe the full asset done. I mean the full the whole how can we say that, functionality. But I plan to do a lot more things, add buttons for the different categories, search, filtering, by name, by meta tags, stuff like that. And then do the same thing for the objects, loading the objects, being able to drag it into Houdini, all that stuff. A lot of things that I have planned. But for now, thank you for joining me. Hope you enjoyed this one, and I will see you in the next episode. All right, take care.